All right guys, what's going on? What's cracking? Back out here in the garage again, and guess what? Today is a turbo install day, which I'm pretty freaking pumped about. We've got the manifold right behind me here. We've got all the parts strewed out across here. We've got the man, the myth, the legend, BB right here. Go ahead and follow his Instagram right down here below. Yeah, we're gonna make this pretty simple, pretty quick, guys. I'm gonna try and go over this as quickly as possible, but I wanna be in depth as possible too. Before we get into this, I wanna give a big shout out again to Real Street and to Powerhouse Racing. Without them, this video and these parts wouldn't exist. Again, a big shout out to you guys. Thank you so much. Robert DeLangelo and Sam Humphreys over at Powerhouse Racing. Thank you guys. Again, I can't thank them enough for all this, but enough of that. Let's go ahead and get into this build. All right guys, first up, what we're gonna deal with here is the Powerhouse Racing manifold. What we have here today is the 1.25 inch primaries. It is a S23 manifold from Powerhouse Racing. They have one size bigger than this. This one also utilizes the fully welded collector instead of the billet collector. I opted for this because it is a street car. I didn't feel that 1.5 inch primaries was necessary for my build. It's 304 stainless. It is a twin scroll design with twin wastegates. I'm gonna be using precision wastegates today, but let's go ahead and mount this bad boy up. All right guys, so one thing I want to mention here with this is 10 times easier to install. If you ever saw my last manifold, it was a great manifold. It was well built, it was very robust, but installing it, literally, Brandon, who is a mechanic, was cursing and like, why is it designed? So it was just you could tell the person who made the manifold makes quality manifolds, but it never worked with a 2JZ. Powerhouse Racing, you can tell they have 15 plus years experience. Installing this so far has been really a cakewalk. Getting to all the nuts and bolts, I mean, this is quite easy. The only downside of every 2JZ is Toyota screwed up the design of putting the studs under each runner, which I'll never understand. But besides that, Powerhouse Racing did their best to make it as easy as possible. And yeah, this is kind of nice. Fuck, you know what the problem is? I probably had easier with an eBay manifold last time. That manifold was nice, he just had no idea what the fuck he was doing. Quality, not quantity. Here, sit that down on there, like so. And don't forget your actual seal there for it too. But it also makes it easier. This one right here sucks to get to if you have the turbo together. This is a real pain in the butt to get to. Let me see that bad boy. There's a socket there too. Yeah. Yep, that's not gonna work. Which one? That there? Thank you. All right.
What's up guys? So for Ryan's boost reference, the housing on the turbo does not come pre-drilled because some guys don't run it, some guys do, depending on the option you're doing. So Ryan's doing it. We have to drill out the hole for his reference. Little tech tip, you want to take some synthetic grease or any type of thick grease to catch your burrs, any threads, chips, the aluminum we're going to be drilling out. Go ahead and put some on the drill bit here. Just enough to get a good coating. Excess ain't gonna hurt. lot of the grease caught the burrs and chips that we drilled. Just take some brake cleaner then. Ryan had this powder coated, so we're going to be a little extra careful with it, but we want to get all that out, that way it don't get into the turbo and mess things up.
So next up, wastegates. So what we're doing here exactly is we have to take these apart, and you're probably wondering, why are you taking them apart already? Well, inside of these wastegates are springs. The springs regulate the pressure. So you can use a MAC valve to up the pressure, and I'll explain that a little bit later on here. But inside of these, there should be I believe it's from what Precision is telling me here, there should be a red and a green spring already in this, and we need to remove them and just put the green and one of these natural springs in, because I want to run 10.5 to 11 PSI base. So what I mean by that is, if I run no boost control or nothing, this will regulate at exactly 10.5 to 11 PSI if I don't have a boost controller. That's what it will hold it at. So that's the goal for both of these, to get those out. You've got the other two springs here that came in the kit. You can see how big they are, and like some of them are pretty insane. Like you can hold, I think the max up to, just on spring pressure, is 26 PSI with no boost control, which is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and start ripping into these, taking these tops off, and we'll show you the guts of them.
4mm Allen will take the 1, 2, 3, 6 bolts that keep the spring compressed in the wastegate.
And guys, I'm putting my pressure on it right now because there should be about 12 PSI worth of spring in here right now.
This can be done with one person. It's
a lot easier with two. I've done it by myself, and I know BB has too. It's not fun by yourself. Let's be honest. All right. Sorry, I'm just putting a ton of pressure because I know. Boing. Boing. I've been there before. It's not fun, guys.
These aren't very tight. They don't need to be very tight. A lot of guys will throw them on, tighten them down. Oh, well, I just stripped that. Or people put them on too tight, sell them, strip them, take them out. So you'll know when it's tight.
Start those two on.
Aluminum on steel, you can feel the threads start to pull out of the aluminum.
I'm sorry guys if I'm in frame right now, but I gotta put on my weight in this because I've been down this road before. It's not fun.
Is it getting heavy yet?
Not yet.
I can feel the pressure in the bolt.
Oh my God, it's literally lifting up right now, and I got my weight on it.
What spring does it come with?
There you go. Okay.
You need this little guy instead. So that goes in, and this goes in. And where's the box at? Right here in your little Precision manual. So if you guys see there in the manual, natural and green is what we're going for, which is 10.5 PSI. When I talk to Precision, they say it's 10.5 to 11 roughly, but they say 10.5 there. So what we have here is 10.5, and it is a green spring and a natural spring. What do you mean by natural? It doesn't have any color on it. So we're gonna go ahead and install these and put the top hat back on.
Thanks, bro.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you for all your filming.
You're quite welcome. Stand stagger meat here.
Holy fucking tight. I'm so used to my last one where I had like 8,000 inches of room. Oh God, that literally lines up because there's no other fucking room. God damn. Ooh boy. That looks fucking sick. Hold on. Where the fuck? There we go. Good. Alright, stop right there for right now, because leave it loose. Ooh man, it actually is touching that brake line. God damn. I didn't have that problem before. But we also didn't have this turbo kit before, did we? So we like pressed in there, Jimmy. What the fuck? Thanks, Tony.
No problemo.
Yeah, these are way easier to install than fucking tiles. Like 10 times. Like, I'm not even shitting you. Like, way easier. It's not even just because I just have them now. It's like, This is way fucking easier. Alright guys, so I had to switch back over to my camera here. I wanted to do that last little bit of cinematic, but I kind of have to end the video there. And just let me talk on it real quick. So I've got a few parts laying over here still, and here is what the engine bay looks like currently. So we got the manifold here, we got the wastegates and everything on, but we don't have turbo downpipe or anything, intercooler piping. So after trying to play with it some, we found out the downpipe wasn't lining up exactly, and we weren't exactly sure why. We're not sure if it's the T56 Magnums actually tipping up the motor some because the mounts are different. So we found maybe some issues there. And I'm fortunate enough that Powerhouse is like, look, send it back to us. We'll adjust accordingly, take videos and stuff. And they're willing to do that, which really isn't their fault. Again, we don't know if that's the issue, but it's not lining up. So they were kind enough to like help me out here, which is pretty freaking awesome. Some of the intercooler piping didn't meet up either. On this side, it didn't line up exactly. So when you went to do it, it had an overlap on the pipes. And on this side here, it was a little too long. Now this side was normal, but what they usually ask you to do is trim the bumper in here. You can actually see where I cracked the bumper a little bit there, putting pressure on it. So what they're gonna do is modify this to make it as short as possible. I took some measurements, and they're gonna modify it so it fits just inside of here. It's gonna be really tight, but it will fit. Again, not their fault, that's me being picky, and they're saying, okay, we'll modify it for you. That, my friends, is customer service. That's the way shit needs to be done. Also went ahead and sent them the turbo, so just to make sure alignment's perfect or whatever. They had it before when they did the downpipe stuff because it has a Marmon flange on it, but I wanted to go ahead and send it for the intercooler piping and stuff just to make sure it'll fit just perfect. And another thing they're adjusting is the exhaust. The exhaust stuck out about 1.5 inches or 2 inches past the bumper, and it looked cool, but it wasn't for me. So they're gonna actually shorten that up some so it tucks under the bumper a little bit here. It was sticking out just, I wanna say like that far past the bumper, and it looked all right. It was cool, but it just wasn't for me. I still have the rest of the exhaust you guys can see, which look at the size of that piping. Look how well it tucks up under too. Look how close it is. That's perfectly ran. It looks cool as hell too. I can't wait to see that going down the road. That's all mandrel bend. If you can see, it only has a weld there and there. No other welds, no other place for cracking. The mid pipe's the same way. It's all mandrel bent perfectly, which I really, really like. But I just wanted to throw this in the video because I know you're all gonna ask, well, why didn't we get a startup? Why did you finish it? So I had to at least explain it because you guys are gonna see more videos after this, and I know the questions are gonna come. So that's what's going on right now. I've got the rest of the parts sitting here. I do have a new IET sensor that I'm gonna put in here. I've got to go over vacuum lines in another video, but I'll save that for another time. But I just wanted to explain this all for you. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this, please stay tuned. There's gonna be a startup soon. We're gonna be making noise. We're gonna be going fast here. I wanted to sign up for Pocono roll race event. Sadly, I didn't make it in time, and it's probably a good thing because I'm not sure when I'm gonna be driving it. Then before we get it going real fast too, I need to get up to John Kerr. This time I'm taking off work to be there for the dyno day. I kind of want to immerse a little bit more into that because John is, in my opinion, one of the better tuners in the country. He just knows what he's doing. He's been doing this for years. He doesn't just do one type of car, one type of ECU. In my opinion, he's like a literal genius. So I want to be there for that and kind of go through things with him. And I don't want to bug him too much, but I want to be there and show you guys a little bit what goes on. All right, guys, thank you very much for tuning in today. You know what to do. Instagram, Facebook, the website. Go check them out. You know what to do. Talk to you later. Peace. There goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight.